Hey there, you guys ready to paint today? Alright, I'm Miss Jennifer and I am with the Charlestown Clark County Libraries, and they are bringing you me and painting to your home so we can all paint together and still enjoy our time together. So you picked the moon painting, and with the moon painting there were several options on what you could put on it. So let me backtrack a minute. If you haven't watched the setup video, go watch the setup video so you have everything ready to paint and we can get started. Okay, so you've watched the setup video. Now, here are some of the ideas I had. So the one you saw had Beauty and the Beast on it, but I haven't actually painted that on there yet. So what you'll do is trace it on, and you could put different ideas. Like, you could pick some Star Wars characters and put on there. Like, I picked a Chewbacca and an R2-D2. Isn't that cute? Or you could put a wolf on there. Like that. I had some other ideas, like maybe a deer, a Christmas reindeer, or a regular deer, or a horse. Or the Disney castle would look cute there. Or the Lion King with Pumbaa and Timon, or a moose. Or you could be creative and come up with your own ideas and just make it small, print it out, and after you're finished, trace it on there. So I had some of these there at the shop or at the libraries where you could pick them up. So hopefully you picked one up and you picked which one you want to use. Now I gave you supplies. This paper towel, I want you to wad it up and don't use it. We're going to use it for something else special. So wad it up and save it somewhere for me. Okay, so I'm going to lay mine to the side. You have a paint tray that looks like mine. You have a couple of brushes that look like mine. And you have a canvas drawn out. Now, it's drawn out in pencil. The moon is drawn out in pencil and the land is drawn out in pencil. I went ahead and put my wolf on here for now. I'm going to end up painting over it. So you could trace it on here. If you did, you'd have to trace it in Sharpie. It has to be Sharpie. No other markers work. Really, I'm going to suggest that you wait till the end and trace it on in pencil at the end. So I think that's what's going to work best for you guys. For me, I was just trying to save time. So here we go. So you know we always start with the thing that's furthest from us, right? So the thing furthest from us would be the background sky. So we're going to use our flat brush, and we are going to go ahead and start with our blue here. So we've got white, this is black. Your tray should be the same order as my tray. White, black, purple, blue. So white and black are across from each other. Blue and white are across from each other, and purple's catty corner from the white. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start by putting some blue in these areas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of texture it on here like this. I would like for you to kind of flatten your brush on your tray. So flatten your brush like this on your tray. So we have a little more control and it makes it flatter, and we're going to outline around the outside of that moon. See, I'm going over top of my wolf. That's why you don't really need yours on here yet. Just kind of get it. If you mess up, take a different piece of paper towel, roll it into a little ball like this, dip it in water, squeeze the water out of it, give it a little point like that, and then you could just wipe off any mistakes that you have with just a little piece of wet paper towel. Not the piece of paper towel that I had you wad up though, because we're saving that one. And just go around it. I find it's easier to pull towards you and get a straighter line if you're pulling towards you. If you're trying to push away, then your brush is going to flick when you get to the end and it's going to mess up. So always pull it towards you to get a straighter line. There you go. Now from about here down, we're going to fill that in with blue. We're just going to do little X's. Just wherever, just different ways. Definitely hit that edge. Touch the whole edge. There you go. And I'm gonna give myself a little room here so I don't accidentally get carried away. Down here, I'm gonna outline my land. There. Now if I get a little carried away, it's not too bad. I'm gonna wet my brush. It feels a little dry. There we go. That'll help it move faster. There we go. Just kind of fill in this area, no white canvas showing. Take a little drop of white. Just kind of work it in. Just here and there. Just to kind of give it a little space effect in there with that white. Okay, we're going to do the other side. And I'm going to give myself a little extra room around the moon. There. Let's do some little X's. Like that. Make sure you hit that edge all the way down. If it looks like you're not covering the canvas and you have dry areas, just wet your brush just a tad bit. Take a little bit of white. Just kind of put a few little brush strokes in there and just kind of work them out. Just kind of give it a little bit of that space effect. And I had a little accident right here, so I'm going to wipe it out with my paper towel. Like that. And I'm not going to clean my brush, I'm just going to kind of wipe it off on the side of my tray. We're going to go to the purple here up in here in the corner. And we're going to work up to about this area. It doesn't have to stop exactly there. You can go over it a little bit. Work around your moon with that purple. Give yourself a little room. Touch the side edge here with purple. Fill it in. just going to work this purple down on that blue a little bit. I'm going to take a little blue. I'm going to work it back up. I didn't clean my brush, no. Just kind of, yeah, it kind of blends. I'm not really even blending, I'm just kind of laying it on top of each other. There. Now I'm going to wipe my brush on the side of my tray and go back to purple and do the other side. Make sure you touch down the edge. Go around that moon. Just like that. Kind of brushing it up here so it doesn't have like a straight edge on it. And I'm going to take my purple into my blue a little bit here. And I'm going to put a little blue on my brush. Wipe that off. Put a little blue on my brush. And go back into that purple with the blue. Just kind of overlapping those colors. There. While you have your purples on your brush, you can go ahead and blue on my brush. Go ahead and get the blue side. So stop here where the bottom of this stops, this planet. That would be blue. This up here would be purple. Just get it nice and neat. So that way, when you're finished, you can hang it up once it's dry. And do the other side over here. Same thing. And this side is blue down here. Just stop where that planet stops. There. There you go. Now we're going to take our brush and just wipe it off on the side of our tray. I'm just wiping it off so we can save those paints. If I need them later, I can come back and use them. And I don't really need it clean. So I just wiped it off, and I'm going to go to black, which is up here across from the white in the corner. And I'm just going to start at the edges. Make sure I get all my edges. And this might be a good time to go ahead and, paint across this top area. Get that painted. Get rid of all the canvas texture. Because that canvas texture will show through. And once you get your edges all done, then you can start doing your little kind of X's. I call them X's. It's just kind of a way to make it look textured so it doesn't look smooth. Here we go. So it doesn't have to be like perfect X's, it's just getting it going one way and then the other. You don't really want it organized. You want it unorganized. Because in nature, things are not always organized. Then we'll come down to this black or purple. Make sure you get your edges. pause and catch up with me. I'm going to wipe off my brush on my paper towel, and I'm going to put a little purple on that black just to kind of blend it together a little bit. So I'm going to come up here with a little purple onto the black. I'm not pulling the black down on the purple because then I'll lose my purple. That purple doesn't show up a whole lot on the black, but you can maybe see it in the sunlight a little bit. I just put a few little scattered brush strokes here and there down below the line, so it looks like it's, blended a little bit more. And then I'm going to clean my brush. When you clean your brush, we haven't done that yet, you're probably going to have to really dab it on the bottom of the tray, on the bottom of your cup. Otherwise, that paint in the middle of your brush won't come out. And take your fingers and squeeze the water out of it. Yes, I know, I've got paint on my fingers. That happens. And we're going to move down here to the bottom with our clean brush. It's a little stained, but that's okay. It's still clean. And we're going to start with white. And we're going to edge. This planet here. Just kind of go over it again with white. Give it a really thick coat. Like that. Now we're going to put, go ahead and bring that down just a little bit, that white. Probably about 1.5 inches with white. So I've come down to here with my white. So I know you probably can't see that. So like in that area, roughly. It doesn't have to be exactly. And then we're going to take a little bit of our blue. Just put a little bit on the tip of your brush, like just a little bit. Like it's not even gooped on there or anything. I didn't clean my brush. I still have white on it. And I'm going to start down here at that bottom edge where I stopped with the white. And I'm just going to go back and forth, working my way up. Like this. Just let that paint wear off your brush. Do not redip. Unless you have no paint on your brush at all, but you just want it to wear off like gradually. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to wash my brush. Squeeze the water out. There you go. And I'm going to go back to blue. And I'm going to go just straight blue. Like this. I'm going to let it blend a little bit. So just move up a little bit and let it blend. If you picked up white on your brush, then you'll need to wipe that off of it. Wiping the white off, I'm going back to blue. And I'm going to bring that down about this far. You see how far I'm going down? And as you paint this, you can certainly get the sides of your canvas while you have the paint color on your brush. Just go from one side all the way back and forth. Now I'm going to wipe this off on my tray and save it for later. And I'm going to go to purple. I didn't clean my brush. I just wiped it off. Go to purple. I'm going to start with purple. I'm going to kind of work that up in there. Work that up on the blue a little bit. Trying to go from one side solid all the way to the other. So don't have any stop and start marks. You can make that a little streaky up in here. That. Just go from one side all the way to the other. Let it wear off your brush. Like I'm not adding new paint, I'm just letting it wear off the brush. Then wipe your brush off and go to black. And black is going to be the bottom edge. So you could go ahead and get your edge. Make sure you don't have any white showing. Almost redipped into my purple. Okay. Stay with the black. And we want to keep going with that shape, that contour shape. Get rid of all that canvas texture that's showing through. And just like let it roughly run out of your brush a little bit. Just kind of dry brush, letting it run out. Just hitting the edges, letting it dry brush in a little bit. Just like that. And then we're going to clean our brush. So clean, clean. You got to get it super clean. Super, super clean. Clean it once, change your water, clean it again. Make sure, it might be stained, but make sure it's clean when you wipe it on your paper towel. Okay, so we're going to take our white. I'm going to wipe it on this side of my tray so I get a nice smooth line. Hopefully this is dry. This blue is dry, so you're not going to pick it up and smear it in. So we're going to take this and we're going to go around the edge. That's why I wanted it really flat on your tray. And I'm just turning it so it's a skinny brush. So when I'm painting around the edge, I'm going skinny line around the edge, like that. Just paint. And go all the way around your edge. You might need to turn your canvas so that your hand is pulling it the right way. It's better to pull towards you. So if you need to keep rotating your canvas so that you're pulling towards you, that's fine. If you're picking up blue from the edges and pulling it in, then this is probably not dry, and you might want to give it another couple minutes and let it dry. Okay, then we're going to take our clean white and just fill it in like this. Okay, I got a little bit outside the line right there. Since it's dry, I can probably wipe it off. Like that. There we go. And I'm painting over this because I can still see it. If it's in Sharpie, you can paint over. If it's in another type of marker, then it would probably smear, and then you might have a mess. So only Sharpie would I paint over. Okay, and just kind of wipe it smooth around the edges. And I like to paint the direction things go. So circle. All right, once it's completely, look at it, make sure it's completely covered in white. It's hard to tell, but make sure it's completely covered in white. Now, so I had you kind of wad this up for me, this paper towel, and save it. So now we're going to use it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to kind of dab it on my blue, on my tray, on basically not in the big glob of paint, but on where I've been kind of dabbing my brush. So I'm making like where I can kind of dab it on this. See, watch. So it's not completely covered. It's just kind of here and there. And I'm just lightly dabbing. So I might have some areas where I want it to be thicker. Like I feel like I want it thicker over here. My planets would have some thick areas of where it's blue. Some thinner areas, and then I'm going to kind of just lightly dab some of these other places. I'll readjust. So you kind of dab it on and dab it on, dab it off on your tray. And now I'm going to take a little white. And dab with like maybe a different edge. I'm going to kind of dab some white in on it. Just kind of blend it out a little bit. So I'm using a different side for the white. I'm still kind of mixing it in a little bit. I'm doing the lighter areas first because you know it's going to pick that blue up. Now I'm going to go over some of my darker areas. Just kind of let it all start to mesh together, just like that. There's a trick to everything in there. Just kind of get as close to the edges as you can. Okay, so on this one, trace your little, whatever you choose to put there, your little image, trace it on there, and after it's dry, in pencil. Then you're going to take your little round brush and black, and we're going to fill it in. So we got 2 more steps. So this one, tracing it on and filling it in, and then 1 more. And then just solid black. If it's wet underneath there, then it's probably going to make that blend together. Like mine's probably going to turn out maybe gray. That's okay. And just roll your brush in your paint to get a point. Some of those are smaller than others, depending on what you chose. I'm excited to see which ones you guys picked. So I'm hoping you guys post these on the library website. Hold them up so I can see what you did. They turned out. Which characters you picked. Or animal. There we go. Getting filled in. So that's my wolf on there. Clean my brush. You can pause and finish yours. Okay, so one last step. We're going to take this brush, the bigger flat brush, clean it, make sure it's super dry. Get it as dry as possible, like this. And we're going to take a little bit of white paint. Make sure everything's covered, because this is going to make a mess. I'm going to have to lay this down a little bit. So you're going to take your finger and you're going to slide it across this like this. And it's got like paint on it, like little stars or things out there in the sky. So just redip, put a little bit at the end. And it can even be on your wolf. It can be on your planet, on your moon. It can be down here on this planet. There you go. This gives a little extra something. Okay, so make sure that when you're finished, you sign it. So you can use your little round brush to sign it, or you could use a Sharpie when it's dry. You use your round brush, make sure you roll your round brush in your paint so you have a point, and you want to put it somewhere small. So you could write it in like down here in like a lighter color, like white. Just keep it small like you would on the top of your paper. You know, you don't want to write your whole name across here because then you kind of lose the focus of your painting. So keep it small. Or you could do black up here. That would be fine. But someplace small where you could put it. Okay? Okay, well, I'm glad you guys got to come and paint with me today, and I hope to see all your paintings. So hold them up, you know, underneath your face so I can see your smiling face, and then I can see your painting that you did, and, you know, I'll feel happy that I get to see what you all did, and it'll be good, and I know you guys did a great job, and I'm really excited for you, and hopefully next year we get to see you in person. But until then, you guys have a great summer. Bye now.